हरे कृष्ण। नीचे बैठने के लिए हाँ। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी वल्लभ गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी यशोदनंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदनंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदनंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदन यमुना तीर वनचारी यमुना तीर वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य श्रोत्र श्री श्रीमद अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शीला प्रभुपाद की जय। इस्कॉन बीबीटी फाउंडर आचार्य शीला प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य शीला ठाकुर की जय। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Guru and Shri Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। श्रीमद् भागवतम कैंटो 10 चैप्टर 10 वर्स नंबर 19। तद अहम मत्तयोर्माद्या वारुण्या श्रीमदान्धयो तमो मदम हरिष्यामि स्त्रैनयोर अजितात्मनो। Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charana Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Therefore, since these two persons drunk with the liquor named Varuni or Madhvi and unable to control their senses have been blinded by the pride of celestial opulence and have become attached to women, I shall relieve them of their false prestige. Purport: when a sadhu chastises or punishes someone, he does not do so for revenge. Maharaj Parikshit had inquired why Narad Muni was subject to such a spirit of revenge, tama. But this was not tama. For Narad Muni, in full knowledge of what was for the good of the two brothers, wisely thought of how to cure them. Vaishnavas are good physicians. They know how to protect a person from a material disease. Thus, they are never in tamoguna. Sagunam samatityatam brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Bhagavad Gita 14:26. Vaishnavas are always situated on the transcendental platform, the Brahman platform. They cannot be subjected to mistakes or the influence of the modes of material nature. Whatever they do after full consideration is meant just to lead everyone back home, back to Godhead. Om Jnanatimirantasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukham karoti vachalam pangun langayati girim Yat kripatam vande Shri Guru Dinataranam Vanchakalpatarasya kripa sindhuvaya patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. They cannot be subject to mistakes or the influence of the modes of material nature. So the explanation of why Narada Muni is behaving in such a way which is opposite to what we would consider a Vaishnav. So the general tendency out there actually of a good person is that he does not say anything bad. Yes, at least not evidently. He does not curse anyone. Yes, he's always very happy. And there is, whatever situation comes in his life, there is no distress at all. Yes. And then there is that fantasy of, if you are a monk or some sannyasi or a great devotee, you cannot express anger at all. Because anger is something which is of tamaguna. But the difference is that we do not recognize that the pure devotees are out of this material world. And to function from out of this material world is something totally different. Yes. We judge the devotee from our perspective and from our position. That how is it possible if I am not able to control, if I am hankering for name, wealth, prestige, name, fame, prestige, then obviously everyone should also be doing the same thing. Yes, if I am struggling in something, most probably they are also struggling in that. It's all about name, fame, prestige. Dhanam, janam, sundarim. But that's why Krishna consciousness is something totally transcendental. It has nothing to do with this material world. We might think with our petty brains because, material, manda sumanda matayo manda bhagyo upadrita. Everything is manda. We are manda. The intelligence is manda. Ayu is manda. Bhagya is manda. Fortune is manda. Everything. Manda means it's actually not so great. Yes. Slow. Everything is slow. And even in being such slow, having such slow everything, even fortune, the pride doesn't go away. We can't even imagine Nala Kuvera and Manigriva to actually not be proud. Yes. Why wouldn't they be proud? They have everything. Yes. Beautiful bodies which are never going to actually become old. Who wouldn't want that? Head full of hair, not grey hair. Yes, beautiful hair. They don't even have to shampoo, They don't have to use L'Oreal Paris or something like that, right? And then those ads which come up, hair sprays and all. No, they don't have to apply foundation. They are naturally beautiful. Yes, they are naturally beautiful. They have everything which anybody would desire in our position. Someone might say that a Vaishnava doesn't require all that. But practicality, if you see, if there is a tendency of sense gratification, there is always that thing that we would want, obviously it would be better. What is the problem in having it rather than not having it? Yes, to have the realization after having it is nice rather than, just saying it for the sake of saying it. But no, this is our conditioning. Yes. It's like when you go out there and when you stay somewhere in a place where, it's so beautiful. There's a new, maybe a hotel or a resort or something like that. And we feel so nice. And yes, it is nice. But what do the pure devotees see? It is a spark of Krishna. Even when it is not there, still Krishna is the same. For them, the person does not change. But even though we might say that I'm connecting it to Krishna, we'll get very less benefit. Why? Because we are very poor in our Krishna consciousness. Even though Haldar Maharaj mentions this, that even though the person is hearing the lecture like anything, because today lectures are available everywhere, right? And that 24 hours people are just listening, morning, evening, night, everything, just listening. But still, there is still a problem. Why? Why? Maharaj mentions that it is not anugatya. Yes. There is no dedication. There is no feeling of attachment to the acharyas. And hence, even after hearing from them, because the tendency is to enjoy, it's very slow. And that's why we still continue to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Why? Someday or the other it will work. Someday or the other, after getting that Agyata Sukruti, then yes, one day it just clicks. Oh, see, I'm such a rat bag. I was so foolish to say all this, to do all this, to act so selfish. And at least there is some progress. At least we are able to recognize it. It is sad when even after mentioning it, people do not get it. Very sad. And over here, Nala Kuvera and Manigriva are classic examples of that. That if you tell them very softly, they wouldn't understand anything. Why? Because they're like, okay, theek hai. Let's move on. Let's go to our another rendezvous point, That's how you use that word, I think. Because that day, I think we were walking down the street and we saw a restaurant named that. But that's what people do. You come to the temple, you hear a lecture, and then you go home and do the same thing which you have. Because there is no mananam. Romapad Swami Maharaj, he was giving the class on Bhagavatam and he was mentioning this. And then the question came up that, Maharaj, is it just listening to Bhagavatam? Is it just listening to Bhagavatam? And he's like, yes, it is listening to Bhagavatam. That's the first step, obviously. You have to hear. But to make the full effect, you have to do mananam. That to contemplate on what you have learnt. Why? Because the desire to understand Krishna, the desire to understand what we have heard, Krishna in the heart manifests the meaning. The thing is that externally one person might know everything. But when push comes to shove, when it is actually time to show, how a devotee has to behave, it's very difficult to do that. Maharaj mentions that the greatness of a man is understood how he reacts in the most provoking situations. And I've seen myself in provoking situations. I'm not good. The greatness of a man, sometimes we think is because of his money, is because of the position he has, is because how much, at what position and what is the hierarchy, how many people he can influence and how many followers he has. These days is about followers, right? And that's how we can consider ourselves to be great or not. How can you talk to me like this? Don't you know I have 1 million followers? But that has nothing to do with your character. Kamsa was the king. Yes. Nala Kuvera and Manigriva, they are Such beautiful people. They have a position. They're Kuvera's sons. Kuvera's sons, right? Yeah, the treasurer. And still, it does not work out. Why? Because when provoking situations come in front of Narada Muni, they are not able to even control themselves. That's how the pride has overtaken someone. Yes. There is lack of respect. There is lack of authority. There is lack of, just for the sake of at least saying, being politically correct is also getting bad, out there. At least as a senior person, we should give respect, whether we agree or not. Yes. Until unless it is a managerial authority and all, something like that. That's another issue. But, these days, even at least it's worse in the US. Whether you are young or not, it's so bad out there because the puffed upness is so much that naturally whatever I am doing, I am the greatest person in my family who has reached the United States of America, right? So obviously I know what I'm doing. And obviously I can say whatever I want. And then obviously who cares whether it's a Prabhupada disciple or somebody else. I will open my mouth and say whatever I have to say. Because this is the right thing to do. And there is lack of authority. And because of all of this, the person who's saying all that, it's not only him. The person, the whole family, everybody has to suffer. It doesn't go far. But the thing is that I just said it because, it's unpopular opinion. I have to give it. Why? Why? So where did Krishna go in all of this? Why wasn't Krishna in control? Now you are in control. Now you will make everything better. That's the problem with pride. With pride, we start getting deluded. And even a great saint as Narada Muni, we make a biggest aparadh. They didn't say anything. Narada Muni could have just gone by. But the thing is that because Narada Muni is out of this material world and he wants to actually help them. And that's why I have seen, it's always, when I was hearing Prabhupada's conversations or how he used to deal and how he was heavy also. You rascal, you do not understand. You have no qualification. I made a qualification. And all these things, it sounds so, like, why would a person say like this? Because he's in a position, that's why? No, it's to keep us grounded. He couldn't care less. Because we saw Prabhupada struggled so much. He wasn't affected. Even after taking 2 heart attacks, he wasn't affected. He was inspired the same as he was before the heart attacks, rather more. But he doesn't need all this name, fame, prestige. Everything is for Krishna. Only a pure devotee can do this. And that's why when these pure devotees, the gurus, they actually chastise, it's not for, why? Because it's my position, You did not pay me obeisances, so, it's a big problem now. It's not for them. It's for us to learn. For us to develop that humility that yes, Rupa Goswami, when he kicked out Jiva Goswami outside Vrindavan, Jiva Goswami was not happy about it, obviously. But he did not say anything to his Guru. Guru Maharaj, you have misunderstood me. I wasn't intending this. No. He didn't say all that. He just left. And Sanatan Goswami, somebody actually, Haldar Maharaj mentioned this, some Vrajavasis actually hear that this, this specific devotee is doing too much austerity. And they did not know who this person is because he was living in a cave, very silent, And then these Vrajavasis, Sanatan Goswami actually is going through that place. And then he's coming for, I think, Madhukari. And then he says, something happened, and then hey, you are so proud, you're waiting for, this specific thing. They actually say something to Sanatan Goswami. This is a faint memory I have what Haldar Maharaj mentioned. And then Sanatan Goswami is like, so this Vrajavasi is like, go and learn something from this devotee. Then he's so humble. If you give him something, he takes, otherwise he doesn't. You are very demanding. Sanatan Goswami demanding, it's another level, Why would he demand, But the Brajavasis, they have their different level of attachment to, to Krishna and everything. So Sanatan Goswami is wondering that I never heard of this saint. Who is this person? And then they're like, okay, we'll take you. You should go and take a look at him. And then they take him and they say, Jiva Goswami is over there. And Sanatan Goswami is shocked. Why are you here? Like, no, nothing happened. No, I'm just doing my seva. No, you tell me what happened. No, nothing happened. He's not telling also. Because whatever Guru Maharaj does is perfect. Very difficult to accept this point. Very difficult. When will we reach the stage, God knows. But to be a yes man to the Guru and Prabhupada, very difficult thing. Very difficult. To keep ourselves aside, to just think of what Maharaj's instructions are. And I'm a family person, I have to do this. When we say I have to do this, that means we have already been caught by Maya. And then at least we accept that I am in Maya. But pride is so great that we just can't. So Jiva Goswami is not accepting. Sanatan Goswami is insisting, and then obviously it's my order. He says, it's my order, you have to tell me. Then he tells that this happened, and I don't know who came to, and then this person was correcting Rupa Goswami. And then I just stood up over there and just said that, no, on the side he mentioned. It's not even in front of the Guru, he said. He went and told this personality when he was taking a bath in the Yamuna. He like, no, Rupa Goswami meant this. He just said that. And then when he comes back to Rupa Goswami, the devotee, the great personality, he said that your disciple is so nice. That he said these things, I'm sorry, I misunderstood you. And I had to say so many things to you. Rupa Goswami, instead, we would have been proud. I'm sure I would have been proud that, look at my, disciple. He's so nice. He knows how to deal with his Guru. He was mad, like blazing fire. He didn't say anything at that moment. Like, okay. And then he leaves. And like, you need to get out of Vrindavan. You think that you are better than somebody over here? You get out. Jiva Goswami didn't say anything. He just left. Why? It is his order of his Guru. He could have said so many things. There would have been a resolution, and then, this and that, and then, conflict resolution seminars and everything. And then, so many people coming and getting involved. It's out there on ISKCON news that this person said this thing to this thing, and this happened, and this happened. And nothing like that. Nobody knew. Even Sanatan Goswami did not know. Well, being wronged is obviously bad, but it is a position of the material world, not a spiritual world. And yes, wherever we are, we need that. We need that because otherwise we'll give up Krishna consciousness. We are not that strong. But the examples are so great that we can just be in humility that, oh, wow. And that's why these kind of people, if they get angry, it's nothing to do with this material world. It's for the benefit of the whole world. Srila Prabhupada getting very heavy. Even the Guru sometimes become very heavy. Gaur Govind Maharaj, if you see, is like, very heavy. You give up your nonsense. And I was thinking that he says that, right? Prabhupada also says that. But eventually I was talking this with my sister, I think. And the most amazing thing is that we always fear, like, yes, I at least, somebody, a senior devotee might come and say that, you should not, because you did this, no more. And then I was thinking that, it's the end of, what will you do after that, it's the end of your life, kind of. I don't know where to go else, this is your life. But even though I was seeing Gaur Maharaj in his video is walking and he's saying, you give up your nonsense. Why are you doing this and all? And the brahmachari is like listening over there. But even though he's saying all these, like Prabhupada saying all these things, but eventually in their heart, they don't want, it's like, yes, they want you to give up your nonsense. But that doesn't mean that if you didn't give up your nonsense, they'll leave you. You know? And that's the amazing part of these pure devotees. That they know how to deal. It's like, yes, you're now condemned to hell. Radha Madhavari Bhagwan ki jai. That they will love you the way you are. The Guru has unlimited compassion for the disciple. Even though politically, socially, they need to do some things, but internally in their heart, they want the disciple to go back home, back to God. They love the disciple the same way as they did before. Even though they must have chastised him, even though they must have, in public, they must have ruined their reputation, but still in their heart, they love the disciple very much. That requires unlimited compassion. It's very difficult to deal with normal people, like to run even a temple. That day somebody was, Mataji questioned somebody, that how do we feel by doing service, And then everybody was waiting, and then Mataji was still waiting for it, right? And then I was listening because, we all were hearing. And then somebody says, it's blissful. And then I was just thinking, right? We were discussing afterwards. Is it blissful? Maybe yes, after the whole thing gets over. But, is it really blissful? It is, and it is not at the same time, right? It's so painful, so much to do. There's always pending stuff. I remember Mataji, yes, we should write a write-up and the Abhishek thing, I remember Mataji, and I still haven't done it, I think. But it's like it takes a toll. Doing even one additional thing takes a toll. I don't know how other people do it. I don't know how the temple runs. It's unimaginable. After Radhashtami, at least the next day I was like, somebody was mentioning that, can we do this? Maybe we have to do this. And I was like, no, I was dead. I was like, in my heart, I was like, I don't want to do anything anymore, I just want to sleep. I just don't want to do anything. And it's just one festival. Imagine everybody in the temple and the positions and everything. You have to do it. There is no escape. You have to find people. You have to get it done. The Lord has to go to sleep. He has to wake up. The service has to go on. Unimaginable how our society runs, how we do festivals, at least for us in ISKCON of Phoenix. Unimaginable. It has to be because somebody somewhere is actually doing it for Krishna. Otherwise, this is not possible. And when things don't go the right way, it's like, it comes back to you, right? The feedbacks are not good. This has to be done. That has to be done. How much will one person remember? It's impossible. I was talking to my, the friends' relative, like mom and dad. We were discussing about how the festivals were done in March at our home, right? And I was just discussing. They were just asking, you must have so many people to help and all. And I was like, yes, we did have so many. I was surprised that so many people were there to help. But the thing was that, nobody knew until and unless I had to tell. And that position is actually very fragile, because if you don't know what you're doing and if you are not there, that person is not there to tell you what is the right thing to do, you cannot give up that service, And that's why like the handbooks and everything, it's very important. But even after you give that, the thing is that if something is not done, who is going to take responsibility, right? Exactly. And that's the whole problem. Not problem, I would say. It's very scary. Very scary. And that's why Maharaj, at least Radhanath Maharaj, when he, the Chaupati temple and all, right? And even Prabhupada himself, initially when he got some devotees, established the GBC. Why? Very important. Because, and Prabhupada was, like after 67, he got a paralysis attack and all. He like, Swamiji, what will happen? You're going back to India. It's like if Krishna wants, you have everything, you go on. 2 years? How are these devotees going to handle? But Prabhupada said, no, it will happen. Mahaprabhu will help you. You continue. I have given you everything. And then if you have to pray, you should pray to Krishna. My Guru's work is not done yet. Please pray that, let him complete his work at least. His task is not done. And 24-hour kirtans people are doing just to protect that one person. Why is it important? Because their consciousness is perfect. They know how to deal. They know how to do everything. And that's why authorities are required. And that's the thing, when people come and say stuff, it's really, they should start owning something. And then they'll know what it means to do, And that's why, at least if everybody, at least in our temple also, everybody should take up some service and get that humility. That no, it's not easy. It's not easy to do all these things. And to give feedback is so simple. But Haldar Maharaj said, there was never a feedback given before. There's no position to give anything to anybody. But today you can even talk back to a Maharaj or a sannyasi. Even though you might be just a spectator sitting in the audience. Why? Freedom of speech. And then when you are condemned to hell because of that, then you'll come back, oh, my life was ruined because of this person. No, you said these things and that's why you are in hell right now. It's that nothing to do with anything else. Nala, Kuvera and Manigriva are cursed to become trees. Why? Because Narad Muni has blessings. It works out. But otherwise, Maya Devi is not so merciful in that way, right? She will teach you left, right and center. So we have to be careful when at least authorities are there. I have to be careful. Because sometimes we become so proud, we can just neglect people. Neglect is a form of offense also. Very difficult to do all these things. But at least when we try, Krishna will protect. Somehow will show us that, see, you neglected. So try not to, right? And there's always if the senior is actually a senior, if you actually go and beg, they will, consider that, okay, no worries, it was fine. But if they are also only senior because of age and not maturity, then it was like, okay, it's fine. Krishna will take care of both, right? So we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Yantara Srimad Bhagvatam ki. Yes, Prabhuji. 98, हाँ. Oh. Oh, so nice. So nice. Oh, ब्लेसिंग होता है. करे है क्या? नहीं. जय. Yes. Thank you, Prabhu. Yes.